Oh. Um, well, welcome to bedtime gaming. Hopefully, nothing else will happen. Oh, yesterday my sister called me, so hopefully this will be a little bit better. No interruptions. But so since I'm just gonna start over from the new game, because why not? Um, Tune in, and I went with the night. Do a brief and it shows. Dog is really pretty. It shows all of that. And I'm going with night this time. Ooh, the back of the car's nice too. I mean, I already kind of, can I skip it? Yeah. Well, I bet I can skip it. I guess not. Well, I already kind of read all this. I played it for a bit. I remember the character, but. Okay. That's fine. On the precipice of change. The palace is quiet. Everything is on lockdown. Every inch of its corridors being furiously scoured for evidence. Every courtier questioned, and all the eyes are turned toward the shadows. Tensions are higher than I've ever been witness to here, and it would appear that change is the anthem for this year in Novus. This affects all of us, and I stop myself from becoming too overzealous and feeling so involved, to be more involved. Good night. I wonder if I can. Because I can't seem to the bottom of it. Oh, no wonder. It's at the way bottom. Can I make this smaller? Lord. So I did Windows off the shelf on my. So it's coming up fine in the window, but I can't see it. Okay, this is irritating. 1 second. Okay. Let's go to settings. There we go. Oh, that was annoying as hell. Okay. So let's go to a little game. Okay, let's go. Turn. I had to say nothing. So, let's do this again. Come on. Ayla. Trainer. If you get why I'm doing for this, then you are amazing. I forgot a lot of other people have like really big monitors. I do not. This again. Okay. Okay, just look at all this. Night Commander Seal. I like the skip. The skip just cuts out all of the extra stuff and goes straight to it. The Harbinger, Angel of Death. Is she 11? I don't know. But no matter what you might call her, she's an imposing, almost suffocating presence. She descends on a spiraling staircase, her low fin like Nick and her obsidian armor look like dancing shadows. Her heels click like impatient fingers and her pale blue eyes are reminiscent of a winter's double display. I also use these two streams to like practice talking. I'm normally pretty quiet in real life. And now, as she approaches me, and she makes no effort to obscure the fact that she is wary, whatever, of my existence. She's done nothing to make me feel unwelcome amongst her ranks. It is likely that the fact that I'm an outsider in her company gives her pause. My arrival was supposed to be a show of good faith between my kingdom and hers. However, as I'm quickly learning, good faith means nothing to the watchful eyes of Novas Black Knight. It holds its breath in the wake of recent events and barely a month into my new station as a knight in the service of the kingdom of Novus and the lives of the heroes have been good. So, the pinups and the sprites are different. Interesting. Not too different, obviously, if you can tell us who it is, but the last tap of her boot reverberates in the halls as she stands before me in assessment. Report. Her voice is split, and today she'll clearly suffer no fools in her midst. Design is awesome though. I like that. I fully intend to refrain from the political. The western wing has been scoured. Yeah, scoured. No occupants were thoroughly questioned. No one is permanent to leave even after the investigation is completed. Any and all access points have been fully secured, and we informed the nobility that, like everyone else, they must stay where they've been placed until told otherwise. It's been made clear that it's imperative they listen to the commands of both their safety and ours. With his brows climbed towards her hairline, she acknowledges me for a moment, letting the information sit aside until she seemed almost content with my concise answer. I'm assuming your lack of mentioning any information means our plaque of scared birds have nothing of value to say. And the stain in her voice doesn't go unnoticed. Flock of scared birds. They did not. I've had little chance to get to know my captain since station camp, but I have a suspicion she harbored little love for the nobility. Noted. Then you would check the eastern wing and do just the same. Once we've established that the palace has been scouted in full, we need to reconvene and move on to discussing the cityscape. Understood. I bow deeply to her, and when I rise to meet her gaze, she looks indifferent. Those striking eyes pin me hard to the spot, watching, waiting. She is as unnerving as ever, and I know I'd better not depart just yet. Tell me something. You haven't been here long, and you get to see Novus in its entirety. How do these events sit with you? The Knight Commander doesn't clarify, and I think to ask her what she means. He's a blonde Knight Commander, huh? Okay. I now have Meredith in my head. But before I can gape at her like a fish and actually ask, I think better of myself and give an answer I hope satiates her scrutiny. So my character is very eager, very earnest, but also kind of stupid. So I think she would probably go. Surprisingly, it's exciting. An assassination attempt on the lives of my superiors does not bode really well, does it? However, it may sound strange, but it's exciting in some ways. Her eyes narrow at my answer, but her response isn't surprising. Explain. I don't wish for the Lord Lady to be in harm's way, but I'm confident that we can deal with this threat. I place my trust in the efficiency of the Novas Knights and their countless successes. I'm not trying to lay it on Tuesday in the interest of avoiding looking like I'm kissing her ass. Her arse. But word travels fast on the accomplishments of her command. It may not be possible to find this with this outfit, but working with such an esteemed unit brings me pride. The answer must amuse her, but she chuckles at me. It's her question to see someone uplifted rather than cowering at the task at hand. You do well to remind yourself, however, the accomplishments are not yet yours. Though I am interested to see how you perform. I can tell that she's not impressed with compliments, not supported with actions. That small, albeit brief, lift at the corner of her lips tells me she's look tells at least tells me she's intrigued. Oh my goodness. Sophia gives a slight tilt over her head. The questioning is over. Like, I am totally getting Meredith, not Commander Meredith from this. Maybe because it's blonde hair, blue eyes. I don't know. And the fact that she's kind of a bitch. Well, we'll see. Report back to me when you're done. My hand clutches the pommel of my sword, my fingers flitting with anticipation, and I bow to her once more. I have so much respect for people who read out loud for a living. It's surprisingly hard. With haste, I begin to make my way to the eastern wing. It's likely that the events will play out the same as they did in the other areas of the castle. That does nothing to quell the adrenaline that trills in my ears. Calm, precise, and efficient. That's all I need to be. People like Kayla is, maybe efficient? Oh well. Oh, I don't know how, much you could change your personality. I don't know how in place the personality of the protagonist is. Anyway, the Eastern Wing isn't far, but it should be where the Knight Commander was headed from, what I can remember from the vast network of hallways. This likely means that that the court mage and demon ambassador are there. Silence sits stagnant throughout the hallways, minus the rhythmic clicking of my armor, and it's reassuring to know that no whispers can be heard. Whispers of furious courtiers, not heeding our warnings, that is. Upon the wind, I hear voices carrying through the halls, and I think better than to quicken my pace, purposefully slowing my stride. Two occupants, I believe, and only one speaks in hushed tones, that voice softer with a hint of accent. The other is deeper with a consistent, almost devious edge to it. Okay, let me go. It may not be loud to you, but it's incredibly loud and irritating me. Oh, wait, I'm gonna go. What would it say? Two occupants, I believe, and only one speaks in a hushed tone. That voice softer with a hint of an accent. The other is deeper with a consistent, almost devious edge to it. I didn't think that these two would defy such strict orders, well, maybe one of them. And linger where they shouldn't. I can't help wanting to know what they're speaking of. My curiosity getting the better of me. I know I shouldn't, but everyone's a suspect by the time being, so. Walking at a marginally slower pace wouldn't be too terrible an affair it is, right? Aware that concerns everyone. I know that you know, dear, and for this, I hear the program are just enough to determine that they're likely discussing the attempt. Carefully, I close the distance, and their words begin to make sense. Okay, so this is Maha, I think. Maha or Maja. Oh, far be it for me to assume you don't know everything, living for as long as you have. You should spare me. Not really imply that I'm old. You know as well as I do that I'm positively ancient. I've not known them long, but the playful sarcasm from Ambassador Paradis is absolutely expected. The Splinter laughed. I'm glad to find that it's not my own. Being discovered as an awkward third wheel, giggling in the shadows at a remark, wouldn't have been ideal. I won't pester you further, but I'll tell you now. I do not think it's an herb. I do not think our beloved Sir Nistrum. Be at ease, my dear. Is it Nistrum or Nystrom? Legacy of the disgraced necromancer is still on everyone's lips, even a year after they've been able to appear. He's once described to be so loved, but is now spoken about as if he's a vile and treacherous man. It makes me wonder what his true nature is. You're not pestering me. I know you would share words with me simply for comfort. I appreciate it, truly. I don't think it to be him either, but still. Eric may not have been heralded for his decisions. He was renowned for his love, the great love he had for the kingdom and its inhabitants. Voice actors, how did I manage to say all these words without tripping over their talk? Must take a lot of practice, because this is work. No wonder getting sub voice is so more expensive than just having a text on here. Ugh. He was not named the noble knight for being an imbecile. Worthy or not, I don't think he would try to admit what he protected. Can I speak for the man? The Eric I knew would not be the villain he's made out to be by some. There's a pause, and then, thank you. I gathered that whatever intimate details I didn't want others to hear are past. Now seems to be as good a time as any to approach, not wanting to linger too long and make myself an obvious eavesdropper. I come closer, circling the corner. The two stand a few steps away from the entrance to the loft and turn to greet me at my approach. Okay, so Maha was a really pretty dress. Like, I like it. Oh, long sleeves. Anyway, really nice design. Lady Maha, as always, gives me a kind smile when our eyes meet, and a small knot of guilt turns to my stomach at her warm palm. And I guess some dude, roll goes nice design too. Are his horns gold, or are they like accessories you put on horns, like earrings or whatever, but horns? What does the same thing on his hands? Like not finger cups, but like they're really fancy looking thimble. Anyway. So when I look to Ambassador of Heritage, there's a smile there, but behind it lies a kind of wicked, knowing acknowledgement. And yeah, you know what you are listening to. There is a chance that I was in all the time, but I can't know for certain. You always need to know something, after all. But this is a demon ambassador. I forgot what she was. Okay. I have to remind myself it would be easy to think that when I know so little about them, both of them for that matter. Is it Maja or Maha? I want to call her Maha, but I don't know what's right. Maja places her hand over her heart and gives a slight curtsy in my wake. Evolution mirrors her movement with a bow instead. Mike Rayner, it's a relief to see you in good health. I was going to do voices, but I'm not that good at voices, so all you people know the same. Sorry. That it is a preferable, oh my god, that word hard to say. A preferable way to find our protectors, usually. I pause. Usually. They nod once. Yes, Maja tucks at the demon, clearly amused by their odd sense of humor. They seem quite pleased with themselves, and Hina sounds irritated. I gather you're here to see us back to our designated room. Yes, there's been no sign of the attacker there has been no sign of the attacker thus far. But for your safety, I have asked that you return. We currently have no way of knowing if there were multiple individuals involved. If there was tension in her posture, I didn't notice until now. His mantra looks to decompress ever so slightly. That is wise, yes, and I apologize for our disregard of the danger, as inappropriate as they may be sometimes. It was by my request that Ambassador Veritas escort me here. The surroundings were a bit too stuffy, so he stepped out for a brief reprieve of people. Also, nine by the dude. Okay. I looked at the ambassador and they nodded in agreement. I would not let Maja venture out on her own. However, I believe that we leave the others more at the mercy of danger than us. I simply do not think the kinds of storms our lady here can conjure. No, not conjure. Conjure. I worry for the simpletons that would dare threaten her, let alone anger her. Okay, so she's a mage apparently, and they're a demon. Whatever demons do. Magic, I'm guessing. She laughs at your comment but supplies with confidence. As do I. Their familiarity with each other is so nice. It's nice to see. But it also has me at a loss. I feel like I was intruding before, which I certainly was. I feel that way even more so now. I clear my throat. I look forward to it. It's an awkward comment, and I'm certain I hear Lucian snort, but I ignore it. No need to ponder further about the remark that slipped from my mouth. Yes, slipped from my lips. Again, it's otherwise verified. Please stay with the others. I still need to search the remaining chambers for intruders. Once the sleep is complete and the night commander gives the word, you will all be cleared to leave. You have the utmost faith in your abilities, Night Commander. Major search turned up nothing. What a weird thing to say. Metal taps metal as my hand meets my breastplate in salute. I watch them recede back into their room, but before I see her disappear behind the door, Martha stops. She turns to peer at the moonlight that cascades through the windows, basking in the glow the same way you might relish in the rays of the sun. For a brief moment she smiles, closing her eyes. She looks at peace. When her eyes open, they make contact with mine, and she offers me a smile. She places a delicate hand to her heart and curtsies once more before disappearing behind the heavy doors. It shuts softly, despite its size, and the click lets me know that they are finally safe. Sorry. Confident that the two are quite clearly very capable of protecting themselves, I begin my search. So far, my search has remained uneventful, but with that incessant tapping I hear that certainly is coming from me, I suspect that might change rather quickly. If I'm not mistaken, this particular chamber should be vacant. It's used by few people and not frequented by often. And the rustling coming from behind the dirty door is not annoying. I simply wrap my feet. With my hand go firmly around the pommel of my sword, I approach slowly, taking hold of the door handle, and immediately, with no obvious means of concealing himself, I see a white-haired man perched, well, squatting awkwardly on top of the study table that sits in the middle of the room. Huh. Okay. The white hair is giving me other vibes. You make no effort to move, despite my obvious hostile presence. The only thing that makes him bother to catch my glance is the sound of my sword as I free it from its sheath. Their hands where I can see them. A pair of dark eyes meet mine over the top of the books. They clutch in both hands. A book that appears to be upside down on purpose and falls to the floor with a thud as he raises his hands. Could you Did you not see them anyway? Do you have bad eyesight? Oh, smart ass. Okay. I ignore the jab and quickly assess the situation. Taking note of the breeze to my right and the balcony doors was wide open. The assassin could not pass me without meeting my blade. But you won't get me. I'm sorry. Okay, yeah. It's a good thing he doesn't have tattoos. That's what I'm gonna say. I said you won't get me. Okay, add all those stories and in the tavern before you can say, cough one. Coffee, nice one. Is that so? I widened my stance, standing my ground. Such idle chatter won't deter me. I study him as best I can, and his smile is wide and toothy, if not a little smug. No, it's definitely smug. Must have heard a night like you do in a palace like this anyway. Really? No? Okay. She's not really snarky. Mm, let's see. Let's just say this one. I narrow my eyes at him, his new arm that clutches my sword so that it hovers just a little closer to his, already quite impressively scarred. Right. Yeah, you realize his fingers and things. Also, that's a lot of belts on his body. How long does it take to put that on? How long does it take to get washed up and all that? Bathing and things. Oh well. Looking to catch myself an assassin, oddly enough. He scoffs, wiggling his fingers, but he still holds up his hands in what I assume is a mock surrender. Haven't caught me yet, so have you? I took my head this way and that, surveying his current predicament. I say, you're pretty compromised. With that, he laughs. It's loud and impossibly obnoxious. He drops to clutch at his stomach. I find myself perplexed and maybe even a little offended at his complete disregard for my authority. Then he inclines his head quickly, a skittish movement. His face is almost serious as his muddy-colored eyes picture the door behind me. I better, you know. He sidesteps to his left, his gaze steadfastly fixed upon me and my weapon that's still poised to strike. You don't think I'm just going to let you walk out of here, do you? The palace is on lockdown. How did you even get in? He laughs at that, and is insufferably obnoxious chortle. Apparently, he is so wildly entertained at the prospect of being caught. Though he insists that won't happen, that he continues to move without a care. Do not move again. He pauses a bit and drops his arms to his sides. And for the first time, it seems he may start to sing to me. Okay, that's a faint pale bud. We'll see. Ah, that's cute. You're cute. See you around. As I suspected it would be, his conversation was short-lived. He smiled softly for a second, then swiftly darted for the open doors to the balcony. I struck out with a broad stroke for teeth, fast, moving forward and laying at the tip of my blade by a hair as he tugs up his hood. He cast me a glance over his shoulder as he perches on the edge of the barrier, standing tall and proud. With a nonchalant shrug, he leaps. I rush to the balcony doors after him. My effort is fruitless. All I see is a shaft of white hair falling gracefully into the darkness. The noise that can be only described as a joyous scream echoes from the palace courtyard below. I think it's like, it's not, I don't know if you say test, I think it's like a G. I can only click my tongue at the ridiculousness of it all. What a glaring mistake on my part to believe that a thief in the night wouldn't think to leap off of a building to escape. People call it clicking their teeth, but I always learned a sucking your teeth. Interesting. Hopefully someone as careless as him will be caught by another one come sunrise. No, be caught by another come sunrise. Okay. I close my eyes and take a breath. My hand clenches at the hilt of my sword on the device as I slot it back into its sheath. And when I open my eyes, turn for the door, I see a tall figure staring me down. An amused point. Oh, an amused smile playing across their lips. Okay, so how did she know the gender of these people? She just assumed the assassin was a dude. Just like, nothing but male pronouns. But this person is like, she's they and there for this person. I need to stop myself from lashing from pure adrenaline and silence her like so it is. And that's in her veritas, she shouldn't be here. The orders given were quite clear. Are all humans money? Is that why she assumed that? She didn't. Okay, right. Let me try to see what she says. So I guess she did know? Okay. Oh yeah, so very clear. They agreed dismissively, apparently more curious about the upper window behind me. They inclined their head towards the open balcony, the long golden accessories on their horns clicking together. Seemingly undisturbed by the curious events that just unfolded, they. What? Are you hurt, Ambassador? Lucian looked surprised at that. They gave me a warm smile, their pointed penis resting over their bottom lip. Hurt? Oh, not at all. I'm quite fine, thank you. It was a simple question enough. It was a simple enough question. And I didn't attempt for it to be funny. Somehow I felt like I'm missing the joke. And that's some joke, you know. This probably wouldn't be the last time either. I've come to notice just how much they love to have a chuckle. Well, I find some relief in it and relax a little now that I can see no sign of immediate danger. I'm just perplexed at how unconcerned they are, considering an intruder was just in this very room. Stay where I can see you, Ambassador. I can't guarantee he's not still around. They know how to step away from the balcony, patting themselves a lavish and gaudy seat to recline in. Everything about their body language contrasts mine. Liquid and fluid versus rigid and alert. I continue to survey the room while they watch, their eyes bright in the darkness, chin resting in a clawed hand. Mere seconds pass after the adjustment. I can assure you that he is no longer here, nor are we being threatened by the moment. At the moment, the tone is dismissive, but my eyes are still trained upon the shadow of the space that we share. You sound oddly certain. Well, you sound oddly certain under these circumstances, Ambassador. A trespasser left this room mere seconds ago. Okay, can you get this is incredibly annoying. I just want the text to just be there. Okay. This person he might be, but Raiden. Raiden? Like for Metal Gear? But Raiden is more of a familiar nuisance. I think I said mine. I guess. This must be a joke. I turn to them, and the face I meet must be incredulous. But they laugh heartily at the sight, and they remain ever so relaxed in their seat. Let me sit down. Ambassador, everyone is presently a suspect. As such, I am sure you realize a comment like that does not sit well for you. They nod again, their legs brought down lazily, with a slight bow to them, a delicate hand extending out to me in a reasoning, almost complacent gesture. That I do, and I do not misunderstand, for I'm not belittling your investigation. I am merely helping you narrow down your suspects. My head tilts. I mean no disrespect, Ambassador, but do you expect me to believe that? Because I don't. They nod in understanding, but their playful nature hardly dissipates. I realize this makes me a target as well in harboring such man. Mind you, is it not suspect for the king and queen to also employ a demon ambassador? This gives me pause. That's unusual to say the least. Lucian has been nothing but welcoming and kind since my time here. Deliberate, playful, wait. Deliberate, playful air of mystery notwithstanding. Like a common need go there. I don't know. He's weird. I kind of seem to know what their reasons are, but I take it into consideration. Though, until we find the person responsible, my eyes are on everyone. Her hands, um, why is this here? Yep. Their hands pull back and they resume resignation upon it, a hum of agreement pulling from your lips. Okay, that's the end. That was weird. Evoking the words of Zeus Lydia. You're not wrong. The way they address the Knight Commander is passive. An afterthought. Clearly the ambassador doesn't find her to be as impotent as most in the palace do. Since we're here for the time being, I would like to ask, who do you think is responsible for this? What comes to mind of such an individual? Why is this news really bothering me, but I don't know how to get rid of it. I exit to the balcony before turning to Lucian again. Their own gaze looks to glitter with curiosity. I think she probably going since she's been around nobles a lot as a knight, she will probably think nobles probably take the others out. This is what she's used to. History tells time and time again of people discontent with the meaning of rule they're subjected to. Sometimes the nobles think they know it all. They know all. Who better to rule than those who are evolved that want more? Right? The hand that feeds. You can watch my phrasing, however, the present company being of the nobility. Perhaps some of the nobility. Sometimes having a lofty life isn't enough for some, I suppose. Ambassador shifts in their seats. Yes. Sometimes the third count on the cushions is as appealing as that of the throne. I can't tell. They're teasing me or agreeing with my answer. Maybe one day I'll find out. They tap their cool tip balls against their lips with a pensive expression, and finally they rise from their seat. As they said, there appears to be no danger or imminent reappearance from the previous occupant. That puts me at ease. At least, oh well. I'll remain here for the time being. There's no need to worry about me. Though I will say, and I hope you're prepared for such a thing to happen again. Again with the cryptic comments. Should I assume you know something I don't? Oh, finally get a make a portrait shot of him. Of them. They're little horn things. Not as they look more like jewelry than just random gold things on their head. Interesting. And I'm wondering if that's makeup. I'm guessing that's makeup. Although I've never understood the whole line through the lip makeup thing. Those are dumb. Okay. The ambassador puts our hand over their heart, posture as welcoming as when they press with them, and they shake their head with a fond look. I have seen many a kingdom rise and fall. I am merely supplying that anything is possible. I do like the design. Like Lucian's design is very Goldie, but not in an obnoxious way. Unconsciously, my head grips the hilt of my sword once more. I can imagine the things I may have seen with the longevity of a demon. And you find yourself the answers you're looking for, Errant. I'll get paranoid if I play as a dude or non-binary. I don't know. I'll check next time. I suppose all I can hope is that I won't have to bear witness to the fall of this soul. My day was long, but the night was even longer. I've been relieved of my duty for the evening after reporting to Olivia, but anxiety stays with me even as I sit in silence in my quarters. Lucian words reverberate in my mind, and I can't help but think back to everything that's happened tonight. I'm merely surprised that anything is possible. Having nothing but certificates to share with Livy was blessed. No sign of our intruders, no sign of anything. Speaking with and trying to calm the residents of the palace easily took up most of my time and ended up being the most tiring of my tasks, unsurprisingly. I need to drink water. Ugh. Well, I drink something anyway. I suppose Olivia was placated at knowing that no one was found. At least, that's what it seems like. She's difficult to read. Before I retired here for the evening, I was informed that my given duties on such an important day tomorrow are patrolling. There are more than enough nights to see to the nobles and safeguard the palace, but the news is underwhelming. Disappointing, even. But I won't let this go to waste. I'll put myself to use somehow, orders or not. The name moved off my lips with the little thoughts. Miss Drum. We should not mention him while speaking to Maja. In my recent appearances with the Grand Archmage, she always seems at ease, amicable, and ready to approach. In that small moment, and hold on a second. Okay, sorry about that. Um, okay. In that small, brief moment, she had seemed so tense. I suppose likely because of what had just happened, she usually struck me as one that's easily shaken. I'm already discarding my warning of having some patience, curiosity driven me like a vice. I was told to patrol into the streets and that the city streets were also within my care. Seeking to find the former Knight Commander wouldn't be agitating the situation, but assisting it. Right? Regardless, no one will arrive in a few measly hours. Hopefully, if he's as much as a drunk as I've heard him be, the local watering hole won't be too much of a stranger to Errant history. I finally stand on the aching limbs and drag myself to my quarters. I'm thankful that sleep finds me easily. Okay, so enter the prologue? No. Okay. I'm, I don't really know how the chapters are set up. I'm guessing it's by plot point, which would make sense if it's being by days. Or time. Um, restricted. The city continues as I'm sure it always has. Merchants are already installed for the markets, couriers hurrying from place to place, children running through the streets, all the noises intermingling into a chorus that is life in the kingdom of Momus. I don't know yet the horror that almost transpired last night, and for the moment, you can carry on word freely. Busy only with the day-to-day tasks that hurry them. If they're lucky, life will remain this way for them, and the assassin will be but a memory. Part of that whole plot in finding Errant room. Okay, I'll be right back again because I gotta check on my cats. Okay, this cat is deeply irritating. I know you want to jump on me, but you can't. I'm sorry. Okay. After a few hours of patrol through the streets, it seemed like a good time. Oh, okay, cat. Okay, what does it say? After a few hours patrolling the streets, it seems like a good time for the taverns to start filling up. I thought that maybe any tavern would do, but everyone seems to be pointing towards the pauper. Paupers? Why is that so hard for me to say? Pauper? Pauper's Crown. Oh my god, cat, please find somewhere to sit. I figured it was probably easier for them to direct me towards any other tavern to rid themselves of a night not authentic drink, but they were consistent with their information. One even went as far as to say that the Harper's Crown is the only establishment that could tolerate him. Okay. It would appear that he's not well liked. Not in these crowds, anyway. And look at this brother, he's not suffering, has gone into their pockets and kept them dry. The place is easy enough to find with the brightness of the morning. It's deliberately tacky sign swinging with an ear-splitting creak above the difference. I can already hear the life that hums inside and smells the swill that permeates the wood. When I enter, the reaction is mixed. Some laughing faces sour, others pointedly look and then turn away, and some pay me no mind at all. I kind of wish I could have designed my character, but I get that this game didn't really. This isn't the kind of visual novel does that. Some do. Some you can design your character a little bit. The woman behind the bar at least afforded me a polite nod before she continued serving the customers. Thank the beginning. I vaguely remember what he looks like when I saw him during a visit to Novus some years ago. I surveyed him. It's not terribly busy, but almost immediately I think I see him. A large figure nursing a tinker near the window towards the back. A bedraggled mess with a thick golden mane that certainly doesn't need a fresh wash. A handsome face that somehow seems wrinkled beyond his years. I assume he opted for a window seat so that he could see the sun, but the view looks right at the little building scant 10 feet away. I really do think it's him, but seeing the starry sight, I almost really wish it wasn't. Still, I approach. The bakers look over to me as I finally make my approach, but possibly Eric isn't even bothered filling me lamps. Come on. Why did it? That was weird. Okay. I'm about to wave him over and cycle a pair of hands grab my wrist, and a lively individual near me spins. I'm getting mixed up. And a lively individual near spins me around. Hey, it's you. It takes me a second to process this person. It takes me a second to process this person means me. You are inching closer and closer to me. What's up, Pat? It's you. Yes, you. They nod excitedly, their carrot-red curls bouncing just as animatedly as the rest of them. I need to speak with you. Come with me. I have no idea what this pointy-eared, sharp-toothed stranger is getting at. They're either drunk or playing games with me. I really don't have time for this, so please. Away from to unhand me, instead of give me my wrist a good shake. Their eyes are wider out from me, a twisted grin. Really? I want to see what's happening here. I stare at them blankly, waiting to build it doesn't come. I sigh and nod at them, and those brown eyes twinkle in delight. They seem pleased that I'm going with whatever this is. Oh, wonderful. This should take but a moment. I wait to hear what they need to speak about. They shake their head. In private, please. They usher me outside to the south room with a polite gesture that says, I have agreed. All my patrols took me several hours. This should be a small setback. In hindsight, but my irritation grows. Turning back to where I came from, they follow me back and nine towards the side of the building. The sun is high in the sky, and I'm doubtful that they try to pull something shady on a person full suit of armor. I humor them and step aside, and their outfits turn against the rough wall of the building, picture of lazy contentment. Her eyes close for a moment, pulling off her hood and her hug underneath their chin. The sun is smile and warmth. So this is one of the 30 people. I'm guessing for the 20 years. So, he claims to know me. Consider I do. He doesn't need your attention. I scoffed at the admission. Why am I not surprised? Cat, you did all of that! I'm not letting you out. I'm gonna make this deal. Surprise wasn't the go, remember? Also a cool design. Point taken. State your name. That's definitely. Forgive me for the introduction. She worked both ways. They smile and tilt their head back and forth, side to side. Wait, what? Fair, fair. Well, knight? Are you a pixie? Please, give me your name first. They chuckled again, absolutely beside themselves for wasting my time, it seems. Okay, you may call me Ro. I'm guessing this is the French way of saying it. Ro, instead of rocks. I'm going to go with Ro. This time the answer is Ernest and I nod. Tell you what. Again, Ro. State your business. Again, I'm kind of wondering, like it's good to have non-binary representation, but how does Kayla know? She has just met this person. Then she automatically knows the character genders. It's very weird. Oh well. Ro pushes off the wall and throws an arm back to the building. They regard me a bit more seriously this time. I think that gesture indicates my would-be charge, Errant. So what did he do this time? Throw a strop at another tavern? Strop? Is it strop? It's only one O, so I'm guessing it's a short O sound. I'm gonna go with strop. Throw a strop in another tavern? Scare off some farmer's horses from his bed? Wait, what? Why would the horses be in his bed? It's a worry. I blink once and press my lips. I heard of Sir Eric being a drunkard rings true then. What? You're looking for him, right? Eric, I mean. I just need to ask him a few questions. Is that all? My mouth closes shut and I think a bit more carefully on my words. That's all, yes. I need to see the man for myself to get a better grasp of my recent incident. I pause, contemplating omitting the whole truth, but I reconsider. Perhaps I can build some trust here. It will become news quickly that there was an attempt on the Lord and lady's life. I let the decoration settle in, waiting on the reaction to gauge what they think of it. Maybe the shock of it will let them know exactly the gravity of the situation. Instead of excitement or fear, they sighed. Something that looks like a sad, tired expression crosses their gaze, and they steal a glance at his direction. Again, then at me. So that's the run of it, is it? You think maybe it was him? I have reason to believe he's a suspect. I just seem to be worried about him, at least that's what I gathered. She didn't seem like herself, of that much I'm sure. Perhaps it would have been strategic to ask her instead, but revealing I'd been listening to what was very much a private conversation doesn't bode well. I understand you need to dig around, but I don't think you gotta go look at him. Did you see it? Wait, did you look at him? Really look at him? My eyebrows raised. I don't know what you... Wait, I don't know what you know about Eric. But I saw you know something, being the night and all. But the man isn't looking to sell himself off what you make him than the one that tossed him off of. He only makes eyes for the bottom of his finger. Prettiest shade of amber, he says. He doesn't deign to involve himself with him anymore. Rumor buzz and whatnot. You must know that it would be difficult not to take it from the deathbed. It's hardly uncommon for a man dishonored, such as himself, to seek revenge on those that dishonored him. At least if you think you don't know him or what happened. You do. I know enough to know it wasn't him, if that's what you mean. outside. Take a breath. It's just that don't, he was a deeply loved as much as he was demonized. Rose's response is just stays sympathize with him. I try it. I met him once before. Years before I served in Citrus. He was still not convinced, but always seemed potential for the Order of Novus. He seemed like a good enough man then, sharing tales and friendly banter with their crews at our table, training and advising them. If he was a good, if he was, blah, if he was as good of a man as he was when he served, I can understand the polarizing response. You're right, I don't know him. I don't want to give him a fair chance, at least. I hope they can prove my suspicions wrong. This honesty seems to speak true. They crossed their arms and looked puckered and shifting this way and that in thought. Well, better than the other crap, not that comrades we start with. Well, that gives me an easy smile at least. I want to believe you as much as anyone wants to believe in a good night these days. I want to believe in Eric. I always have, and my gut tells me it's on him. But you've come here to. Okay, this thing is really irritating. Why is it in the front again? Really? That. She came here to question him. I mean, your target hasn't been found. I like to think you can do the job sober. That's bothering. That'd be a funny sight. Stinking man pissed to his eyeballs. Seen rumbling around outside the palace. I feel like Ro probably has a very obnoxious Cockney accent. I just feel it in my soul. They give me Sarah. Maybe not so much in personality. We'll see. I can help but let out a laugh at that, but clear myself quickly. Leaning back, I looked for Eric again and just as I suspected. He's still in his seat, my second ticket resting beside what I assumed to be his now empty purse. I intended on speaking to him about it, but your tone suggests it might not be the best idea. Their nose scrunches and they shake their head. The stories they say that he disobeyed an order from the crow and made it a bloody scene. The lives of his comrades forfeit because of him. His knighthood was rescinded and the rest, I told you that. Rose stops, loudly, and they sneer. Their pointed teeth bared just a bit under its pink lips, and for the first time, I see them annoyed. I'm just killing to describe every woman she's about to have sex with him. It's really weird. Oh, can you, use the dialogue, please? I didn't see no dialogue, please. Yeah, the rapper still have it, but what? Oh, it's only in English? I didn't bother having language if it's only in English. Okay. Oh, come on. I'm putting this hot one. No, I want the message to be over. I'm living a very dream. Heard that one before. One of many tales. They paint him to be this perfect monster, but not the truth of it. They turned their backs on him, the king and queen, made him go against his morals to uphold their law. Eric wouldn't have it, and so they made him an example. It ruined him. He loves to have a few words with them, but he has so little drive. What's left of him is parched here in the pauper's campground. Knighthood wasn't really anything to your job, though. To me, that much is clear. For a man so large, he looked he wanted to shrink in his seat. You keep an eye on the old man, and he didn't look to pull up any big move yesterday or today. Even if he did, I doubt he thinks he'll get what he wanted out of it. A friend. If anything, he probably annoys Eric so much, he'd be the first on his list. A laugh and a pause. Kidding, of course. Just a jest. The subject is clearly a sensitive one, and despite the passing of a year, Errant hasn't forgotten. Wait, all those took place in a year? Dang. I want to know how the events played out from him. The knight such as myself is not likely to hook from him so willingly. Provided I don't incur his wrath, I want to at least ask him. I do appreciate you telling me, however, I just. Of course, I can finish someone approaches us from the street. Well, more pointedly, approaches me. They're clad in the same armor as me, and I do the palace, and I turn to salute. The knight commander requests your presence immediately. Unless something happened. The palace is still secure. The palace is still secure. But she instructed that you be carved an escort for a party heading to the town square. Understood. I don't think I met other players yet, so I'm not sure if I want a romance. I have a mind to bid rule for rope, and thank them for giving me information in spite of a bizarre encounter. When I looked to find them, they're gone. Another time, perhaps. I guess Kayla's just gotten getting used to people that's up and moving. Like they're Batman or something. I look to the knight again and nod. Let's go. Olivia stands resolute behind the heavy desk and waits while the door quiet shut as I enter. This is her chamber? Interesting. Have you anything to report? Have you anything to report on the state of the city? I shake my head and recount my patrol routes, all the mundane details. She nods, neither upset nor surprised as before. My scouts tell me the same, no one who was dispatched or revealed anything enlightening. Are you disappointed? Disappointed. I've not signed you into something similar. You expressed excitement before. I did indeed express excitement. Olivia was quick to read me and remember. You caught me. I certainly went to assist efforts and in whichever way at hand, which is why I brought you here. I then catch a glimpse of a smile. She looks down to where she clutches a large scroll. By due time, your moment will come. Regardless, a withered map unfurls from her hand to the table and smooths out what looks to be a depiction of the city. Her gauntlet taps it once and moves in a circle. Circle. There'll be an announcement formally addressing the threat among the palace. Not among. Upon the palace. This will be the route that we take, with the entourage of others to explain. Yourself and a handful of comrades, along with myself, will be escorting the ability to give the speech. We are to guard them, then, until it's over, and we return. The route that she outlines is open and direct, and super arches to take their mark. I only wonder why such a choice was made. You must ask, from a strategic standpoint, doesn't it leave us vulnerable to attack? The Viennas I still fixed on the map. Yes, however, it's the quickest way. Everyone in the group is dispensable. Dang, that is gold. Dispensable. The king and queen won't be present during the speech for that reason alone, so yes, everyone is dispensable. One of the nobility will deliver the speech in their stead, and a public appearance from them will not be promised until we have more intel on our targets. Dang, harsh. I dare not question her again. I don't know who exactly belongs this group there is aside from us for certain, but she means that she doesn't even have to serve herself. Such is the nature of being a knight who pledges herself to the crown. But the manner in which she says it so readily and without much as blinking begs either admiration for her commitment or fear. Understood. Good. It's simple enough, and I doubt that I would be exactly would pull anything off with a full complement of knights waiting for them. Should they attack, there is a chance it will give up their position and will make it that much easier to find them and run them down. That was the side of clever and our ambitious enemy believes they are. Now, do you have anything else to report? I think back to last night, to the intruder I found crushed in the library. I know Lucian claims he means no harm, but I can't in good conscience keep such information from my commander. Actually, yes, there's one thing. It appears we have a pest problem, specifically in the ambassadorial wing. I would scroll with unconcealed disgust. Oh, I'm fully aware of that particular pest. You are? Dreadfully aware. As low as I am Professor Demon's worlds, I am sure he's not the demon. Well, I'm sure he's not the assassin we're looking for. He frequents the masters of Veritas like a rat to an open pantry. Though he is not a guest, and he is not welcome here. Slippery bastard. Irritation blankets the room, and I felt certain discomfort at the thought of continuing discussing matter, but should you see him again, please escort him out. He's still a suspect, but I highly doubt that the reason for being here was because of that. She speaks of him friendly, but with repulsion. I consider asking for some elaboration, but I stop myself. I don't want to assume the reason for his late night visits, but it's difficult not to at this point. What else could someone be doing stalking around the darkness of night frequently and visiting another? Let alone an assassin does not take their life. How committed she might be, very times will pass even her steel can blaze squash certain individuals. Questionable as they are. I understand that change the subject for some mercy. That is all, Commander. She nods curtly. Should all go well today? He was in your pulse after the summit. She pushed up the table and nods to the door. The others have been informed of the plan. Find our charges down the hall and warn of the boss and let them know we'll depart soon. My time in Nova has largely been uneventful. It's been so long since I've been put in a place that says my life is being put on the line. Part of what makes Nova so strong, however, is its military. An incident report has been remarkably clean. Or edited to be so. Yet, with how tight-knit Libya runs things around here, I suspect that might actually be less of the latter. For all the stories the harbinger of the fear her name invokes, she projects her chorus with indifference in her voice or not. I turned to leave quickly Emmett for the destination she noted, her words repeating in an endless loop in my mind. I find the loft soon enough and meet with those I'll be accompanying. I'm surprised to find Lady Maja or Ambassador Veritas amongst the group, both of them significant figures within the palace. And a group removed from them are other esteemed nobles who are clearly exasperated and brimming with nerves. Their restless palpable. The ambassador from Bithris is with them. Distinct look and silhouette of their robes, setting them apart from the style of the Nubian crowd. There's a hum of chatter in various corners of the room, and no one in the film registers my presence yet. Oh, is it speech time? How fun. Christian spots me and addresses me openly. The room pauses and distracts as all inhabitants turn in awkward unison to look in my direction. My jaw squares and my lips set in a thin line. I look to Ambassador Veritas, only to find them smiling warmly. They sit with legs crossed and one bouncing with the excited tail of a contented cat. I'm here to inform you that the speech will commence soon. Please wrap up any business you have. We leave in a minute's time with others and the Knight Commander. Of course, the mission, Maja stands. I'm going to see a complicated look on her face. The others turn back to their business, lives and tones with exasperation on their lips. I'm sure they'll be prompt. They don't wish us to be here. But they don't wish to be here either. Is that so? I can tell with the sheer enthusiasm they greeted me with. I'm at fault for that, I'm afraid. Women shackles a little at their mission. Be at ease, fair knight. There's no appropriate way to approach this. All news is bad news, and all good news is never enough for them. The swift conclusion is that is all that we can hope for. This is just business. Accusing they may be, but I can tell they mean no harm in their interjections. With how drab their companions are, a sense of humor seems a reasonable way to cope. That I can appreciate. They don't feel bold to be out in the open without their rulers present. As to confirm my words, I see out of the side of my peripheral, someone giving her a sideways glance that isn't anything short of annoyed. She smiles thinly. I know they're full with the eye. They just want to hear it. So let's see. We already informed they would not be making an appearance, which I'm sure you already know. Are either of you to deliver the speech? Maja shakes her head. Not us. No, the honor goes out to our dignitary from your home country. We only assume that the church should how firm their belief is in our foreign allies. Not a bridge, not yet broken, if you will. Do people break olive branches? Anyway, it's reassuring to hear a choice to prove that nobody will not turn its back on their allies first. still worrying. That might indicate signs of internal struggle. I hope this gives you some relief and directs fewer suspicious looks your way. Her general concern has been a loss. In light of all that's happened, Maja is consistently kind. To you the same, my lady. When I know and have heard of you, I can only hope that your personal success hasn't given you too much grief. What have you heard? I nod, familiar with some of the details the court archmaid from her impressive introduction to the palace halls. I know that you didn't use your husband into Nova's court and allowed yourself a fairy tale without the fluff. She chuckles merrily, a hand over her mouth. Bluff is certainly a way to describe it. Not everyone can say the same. I don't know that everyone is impressed with such a feat. It's hard work. Her smile widens with it and melts away some tension. Thank you, Kayla. It hasn't been terrible. But some could do to appreciate hard work and see the value in it rather than envy. Oh. It's times like now where building strong allies should uplift us and not divide us. After all, we're all captive in this dilemma, including you and them. Let us continue to do better. I know, I follow my own finding limits. However, I see that Lucian has interest in our conversation. Their face cradled in their hand, eyes darting back and forth between us. Yes? They shrugged half-heartedly. Oh, nothing. I'm just observing a very optimistic conversation. Something we so sorely need right now. Right. It's like we need to move, I suppose. We can have more of these conversations after the speech. She puts out her hand to Lucia, and they take it, rising, then nodding a fond thank you to her. I watch as Maja separates herself from the group, heading for the door and smiling sweetly at Lucian and I as she clutches the frame. You won't be joining us? She shakes her head, a strange sad expression blooming across her face. I'll be absent for the speech, but I wish you all the luck. Oh, right. I have a candle on. Maybe that's supposed to make me cough a lot. I don't know the talking. I am terrible at, like, talking for long periods of time. Definitely so. So reading the story is a really good practice. I nod politely at her departure and hold on to a silent hope that these pleasantries will continue after the announcement. Now the march is upon us. Let us part. The sun rises high above the entire kingdom and the bells have tolled. The march to the square was as described by Lydia, direct and without caution. Yet, as we made our way to the summit, no shadow or secret alcoves revealed any attackers. Only now am I aware of how much the light beats down on me, and sweat from nervous anticipation is not a fine equipment for armor. We stood the stage before the crowd, and I couldn't be happier to finally stop. The formation fans out, and, lucky for me, my station is in the shadow of some of the taller buildings. Of some taller buildings. Want my brain keeps wanting to add words. Must rearrange words, but read what's actually written there. The courtiers take their seats and laid out for them in front of a sea of people, some shuffling dejectedly, in place they clearly don't favor, in places that clearly don't favor. Oh. Their displeasure is a privilege at this point. They kept their lives and lived on to complain about this seating arrangement. Though, as always, the eyes of the masses, the scope of protecting the freedom of truth dawns on me. Our hazy blur of bodies, all cramped together and awaiting what new could hold their kingdom. As is customary, they must first put your hand to praises and regards, and their mercy notes of some corpulent lord. The man is excitable, and his handle for persuasion suffers. So he bellows loudly the protection from the Pantheon. Oh, great is the power of our gods, felt in the strength of our Lord and Lady. Oh, how wondrous is the... And I find myself tuning him out quickly. I can relate. I can only offer to scan the horizon for those... Wait, scan the horizon. For whose attendant and how our wards fare. But nothing looks to be unusual or out of place. The people are just bothered, mostly. Get rid of my kiddo. Okay. It's hard to say who our potential attacker or attackers are, because even the most unassuming figure can belie what truly lies in our hearts. They come in droves like a tributary, with us at their end. The amount is massive, but before they can fill the space entirely, I think I recognize someone. A mess of blonde hair and thick century with a posture that implies inebriation. He wanders against the current of the crowd to any path that might lead him away. He showed us a couple of people in his wake, and I recognized him to be Errant. Though there's something of a hurry in his steps as he escapes. Rose spoke of him not wanting to be involved with previous employers. And he makes it obvious. On calling my patrol, I think the direction he heads to might be the edge of the city, bordering near the woods. If time is on my side, I may be able to catch him post-speech. There's a brief pause, the wind raving from Lord Edwin coming to a close. His bow is exhausted and clumsy, red faced like he's bereft of all air. When he sits, he ushers on the Vizerin ambassador almost pleadingly. He looked reticent when he arrived, and I feel a surge of sympathy for them. As Lucian said, there is no right way to approach this, but I hope it's with some grace. More confidence than their predecessor, they climbed the steps to the platform, rising to the occasion. Something about how they held themselves already speaks in a way not yet spoken. Wait, what? Okay. No. As frightening as last night's events had been, it's only natural that great leaders like his and her majesties of this fair kingdom have the most formidable of enemies. And it's also critical that in these times of such adversities, that's not the word, adversities, We keep our senses keen, our bridges strong, and our friends close. Of this, our two kingdoms, Victorus and Laurentus, are of one mind. Long have we been another's benefactors, and longer still we have been friends. For Tizian wealth is the joy of Victorus, and the Syrian drains gladly flow to fill your coffers. So it has always been, so it will always be. I wouldn't say all that, but okay. I have no doubt some among you attended with suspicion and unease in your heart. Hear my word and the promise of Victorus within. Whatever strife may attempt to visit your people and your esteemed monarchy, as it did recently, or in the future, the Syrian spirit and friendship remains at your side. Merely neither speaking of future different plans or the moves to be taken, whether that be due to the crown not wanting to announce a Saint yet, or that they build the kingdom just as you need to know. Yes, yes, wise words, Ambassador. Truly, you, the people of Errantus and the Novus, are assured. He congratulates their priest enthusiastically, but it's likely because he's the only one that does anything. I look upon the crowd as Ambassador leaves the stage, and they look indifferent, perplexed. There are many faces in the crowd that it's difficult to clearly discern what they wear as a whole. Yet for the lack of a reaction, there is no rallying cry that declares their upheaval or unrest. No unified mention of the revolution among the race. Yes, there is no feelings they have for their rulers that begs one. Regardless of my thoughts, the speech comes to an Lord, to an uneventful close, and the knight commander clinks the sheath of her sword to the ground. A loud knock-knock declared those soldiers and rallied the rest of us together in meeting. Okay, now it's about to happen. We seek to use the same path as we entered, and again, nothing comes to take our lives. The tension present before, after seated considerably, and shuffling from the ability is faster. Someone stalks closer to step with me, and I do a double take. The same robes, glittery jewelry among inky black hair, but this individual has tawny skin and is quite notably missing their horns. Oh, so that's how I go about the horns. Interesting. But also like the, close-up picture in their human form, too. That would be neat. Maybe that's a CGI style, I don't know. My lips move to speak, but Lucian beats me to it with a theatrical whisper. What a shock! The demon has a trick to appear as a normal human. And just like that, my mouth shuts and I feign indifference. Their bright eyes look briefly back to the podium and then to me. Pretty words, bloody history. Long have the king and queen prospered. The words of peace, but their hand is strong. The means of achievement might not align as the speech tells. Remember what I said last night for tonight? And with that, they're gone. When we reach the palace grounds, the courtiers are excused to their rooms. They separate like an excited flock. Sounds of relief and more than a few, oh my gods, not so subtly uttered. Then is summoned to report to the king and queen immediately to brief them on the reception of the speech. But not before I catch you talking to Manja in hushed whispers. The archmage comes out to greet us with a smile upon our return, and Livia stands stalwart in the doorway of her chambers. I don't see Livia's trait, but I do see the look Manja gives her, one of concern. How warmth there that Livia doesn't to reciprocate. Quick and quiet words are exchanged. looking quiet words are exchanged between the two that I cannot hear. Olivia remains as curt as always and closes the door softly behind her when Maja excuses herself. Lucian and his party form has stalked off to somewhere of their own fancy, as they tend to do, and as I've come to learn, they'll be just fine by themselves. More than most, probably. So it appears I am left to my own devices. It hasn't been a call for a degree for many times, nor has there been any order to keep everyone under house arrest. Interesting. Is this to come after the storm? If it is, it's time to patrol again. As repetitive as such a duty can be, it leaves me an excuse of precious time to hopefully finally find a certain ex-night commander. This is a very long prologue. So Eric is hardly difficult to find, thankfully. I thought I'd seen him still up to the edge of the city. Maybe it was if he hated to show so much. So much. Well, it's likely I miss him, and yet there he stands at the base of a tree within town limits. His arms cross the harsh sunlight rays beating down upon him. He squints at my approach and huffs, almost as if he expected such company. Should've. No, you don't sound yet. Thought I recognized that shiny speck warning me of the night from earlier. Is that rousing speech still the resolve that I'm your assassin? I'm hardly 10 paces from him, and already the ire of his voice is palpable. He idly flicks a grasshopper off his tunic and grunts when it relocates onto his breeches. There's not much I can do about his feelings for the night, so I tried to approach as kindly as possible. I only came to ask some questions. Of course he did. He says it so flatly, barely a semblance of care, and then averts his gaze to anywhere else but me. Earl did emphasize that he wouldn't be enthused to speak to me, and it would appear that they were right. I've already spoken to Roe. They were very quick to defend you. Here we look like a drunk. His eyes flashed shut in his eyes. Of course we did. When they opened, his demeanor softened, something like sympathy shining in bright moonburn. They also told me that he wouldn't want to speak with me. I don't. Oh, alright. That's funny. But I figured you were going to ask me questions anyway. My bones feel like they must creep from how rich I've been into this moment. I was like it's having to piss off. Just leave me empty-handed. I almost wanted to thank you for apparently humoring me, but making this as short as possible probably suits him better. I only wanted to see you for myself. The man spoken of both fondly and in harsh whispers. Wow, not a dramatic one, huh? I mean, no offense, but I suppose there was a little more flair to the words than necessary. He snorts, a grappling, mumbling about how hard simple talk is to come by. Believe it or not, I come looking for answers, a solution. I don't know you. Only what I hear, the stories are secondhand, not necessarily the truth. My choice to come to you was not because I believe you to be the assassin, but rather because someone had mentioned you, rather wordly, I might add. Eric's face shifts to one of further exhaustion and annoyance. Why Sophie snuggles, paling when the skin pulls front. So worried, is it? Maybe I'll be the beast with an open mouth. It didn't sound like that. Well, she was worried for you, specifically. Something in him stops. He's been pressed until now. Yet nightmares strike a chord with him. She who? The words were not for me, but they had nice fighting room? No. That's above help me. I did not mean to eavesdrop, but during my patrol to secure the palace, I overheard some of the courtiers speak of you. It was an accusation. It was a conversation I felt reassuring. My Jack. Yes, what? I have said her name even implied it. He speaks in uncertainty. I could deny her message, incredibly unlikely that the palace would open its doors to simply affirm his words. Mantra explained whether or not place that would give a piss about me or anyone else. I'm just juicy gossip for the vultures. So uncertain. I am. There's no room for doubt. His heart assures me of that. She's a kind woman, kinder than I've ever known, and more than his kingdom deserves. It'd be hard pressed to try to tell me it anywhere. Wait. And tell it anyone else. And tell me it anyone else. Wait, what? Okay. She shouldn't worry. That's more than we deserve. The manner in which he speaks about the archman is with reverence. He looks weary in a way that seems to take him to some far off place. There's something in his voice that sounds almost like you knew her well, I take it. His eyes softly closed and they open. He looks different. Obvious, is it? We were lovers once, you and I. From the sunrise to the sunset. Oh, dang, that's a lot. Or that was so fancy what they're saying they would go for like wow. Oh, my ex, I get used to different connotations in my head. Can't say the kingdom was any better then, but everything felt better when we were together. Love. Sound all that of love. We sought for better things, better days. I felt like there was a real, genuine effort for change. But the people we served tried for better. Me being thick in the head and sitting loud into the big picture. Which is, the kingdom doesn't give a shit about us. He steps forward, his mouth a hard line beside his next words. Novus is firm because it doesn't care. It's a ruse, a joke. My story is that I failed to follow orders, nodding my head along with murder. But I pledged my life to the crown as not a novice. I promised to bring order and honor, not. He spits at his feet like poison that blow up on his tongue. Now whatever this bullshit is. There's a heavy silence that follows. From irritation to accounts of a deep love to other revulsion. Rick feels inside animatedly. He doesn't come off as kind sort of a theatrical display to convince me. Nor does he divulge specific details of his mission. Watching the shift in his behavior just tells me that nothing aftermath is a very broken man. For his anger though, for all his anger though, he sighs and leans back against the trunk of the tree. He closes his eyes and takes a moment for himself. And when they look back, something in them resets, columns even. I've said that I didn't want to talk to you. And yet I raved at you like a boy when he takes me a drink. The boy. I little snake that likes to poke theirs even when this particular pair is not having it. I see. It's just a guess, but I think this boy might be the friend Ro had mentioned before. Answer your questions tonight. You want to know it with me, right? Embarrassingly enough, I really much thought of what that question might be. I didn't want to know that Eric would do it, but he's weighing on with a script testimony of what might be a suspect. I know less of the kingdom than I thought, and even less now. Let me ask you this instead. Would you do it? I would. The answer comes immediately. Dismissive and caring. I would if I were a man that thought it would change anything for the better. Blood for blood, some might say. We don't need murder solving our problems. Especially that means it's making more problems for Maja. His voice is quieter again. The vitriol in his tone doesn't match. It doesn't touch her name when the utters it. I'm to believe you. Would you use him would? Eric shrugged confidently. Can't say. They were good enough to escape, so I thought it was any common folk. Either I say you try a proper assassin yourself, or you start thinking about who you trust in the palace. I catch a scoff in my throat. Technically, I did ask assassin some questions, but not the ones that I would have wanted to in the moment. Him leaping off the building cut our little meeting short. Eric does at least provide me with something to think about. It's possible that the assassin could have escaped, if we haven't looked at all. A lot goes over my head, though. It's not let me to investigate the lords and ladies, but this is to be my home indefinitely. Can't imagine this was pleasant for you, but thank you for answering my questions. My tone shifts on of practice authority when I address him. That'll be all. I hope the rest of the day will treat you well. He scoffs at the salute I give him, unfolding press his chest again. Back to Mrs. again early. What your investigation shown you? Don't solve leads right now, considering yourself as off my list. At least now I can actually be glad you will ask me more questions. So I have a question of my own. Two actually. What's your name? Ayla. Ayla, number 2. Why do this? Why ask me anything? Why not just turn me in and get yourself a pretty ticket to lots of luxury? There's bitterness there, but also genuine yeah. This happened to I try to read too fast. There's also genuine curiosity. Perhaps even a full response from one night to another. Honestly, she's gonna be Yeah, she's an earnest one. As I told Ro, I came to give a potential instrument innocent man a chance, and I did just that. Your story doesn't sound falsified, but it's not within my power to decide. The decision to arrest you is more than just that. It's putting behind bars a man of significant influence, one that's yet to be forgotten. The freedom given to you might taste bitter, but the kingdom's stillness to involve itself with you may very well be intentional. I can't make you believe that my intentions are for the well-being of the kingdom, but I will hope that this kingdom should show you that I am weighing my choices. Take it as you will. Eric inclines his head, looked at me pondering. A safe choice. I thought you might have for another day and swim into the swill. You actually enjoy the tavern drink? I'm like, yep. I'm in it for the flavor. Oh, I like him. Fair enough. I've never tried it. No. Eric turns his head to the sun and nods. Looks like it's time for you to head off. The sun sits high in the sky, a clear blue expanse, no matter where you look, but I'm not sure what it means. Sun's still up, night, means you still got a whole lot on your plate. I answered your questions and you answered mine. More or less. Now he wants to come back. This cat. was streaming for a pretty long time, so I was hoping to get to the first chapter before. Anyway, he continues to stare me down, no indication of what he thinks of me after our brief exchange. Errant is rather unapproachable, to say the least, but I did the baseline of what I could do, and that would improve the relations. But I leave without having built and damaged our rapport. He's right, though. I'm not sure how much time it has lost since my time here, and it's unlikely another one or even my squire think to find me here. Rather than invite the ire of the next commander for a meeting to be over before I'm back, I better dash. Another time, then. You won't say it. I center my hill and leave Errant to his privacy. As the wind, as the winds urge me back to the palace, I can't help but think of the irony that the feeling that a man like Errant, despite near being pickled by drink, will start anew. Appearances aside, the former knight doesn't look incapable. I hadn't thought to ask him what he'd been doing since his dismissal. But he still looks familiar with the sword where there was once strapped to his back. If Novice is as intolerable as he says it is with his current rulers, why not run? He can make a new life with a new name in some far off land that knows nothing of him. Who knows how his choice is not one he favored? Maybe it's Manto that keeps him here. But a simple dream of better times that could bring in his future. Perchance. There is an inexplicable draw I feel to this place, and that might even be the same thing that keeps him here, that keeps them all here. The Net Commander, the Archmage, the Demon, the Fae, even the Assassin. There's a kind of wonderment within these walls and its inhabitants. We stand at the precipice of change, and, as I approach the public doors that stand open for my welcome, the feeling that settles in my gut is that no risk cannot wait for what we all have in store. Alright, I'm going to pull off. Chapter 1. Strangeness and Charm. Someone is a Florence and the Machine fan. But I'm saving here, actually. Okay. Anyway, that was, a lot. I talked for so long. I know definitely not good for talking for so long. But thank you, anyone who stayed and listened to me talk and message so many words. I appreciate it, and I will talk to you later. Bye.